Josh Krieger, host of Edge of NFT, live at NFC Lisbon with some old friends and some new friends. Shout out to Pizza Ninjas for powering this amazing roadshow for us. And, there's been some announcements here. There's been some exciting news brewing for a while. Seb, always great to see you. We've hung out, I think, all over the world the last few months, and you've been telling me something is coming, and now that announcement has been made. So let's hear it. Let's tell our listeners what you guys announced.
Exactly. Like, as you know, we have a lot of things happening all the time at Sandbox. We just passed 5.8 million users. We have 1,000 experiences live. And just yesterday, we finally announced the Sandbox DAO. So it's a major milestone for us. It's really stepping forward like decentralization. We started building the Sandbox using and incorporating blockchain technology at the core, Web3, NFTs, to like provide freedom to the players and the creator through true digital ownership. Now, like, we're leveraging this, setting up a foundation and leveraging the DAO to empower players and creators to have more autonomy, to voice basically their suggestion, to be able to vote, to participate in the future roadmap of Sandbox, define the priority on the development, define like the abilities for players, the gameplays, the way that the rewards will be distributed, the amount of the reward for season or event, the way we should manage the lands, for example, that we have in reserve, and many other things that pertain not only to the Sandbox platform, but the Sand ecosystem in general, and all the initiatives that will continue to grow the metaverse and grow the Sandbox as well.
So excited. And in a moment, we'll dive into that with the head of the DAO, who's also with us. But, I guess to sort of kick off the conversation, to get into more depth here, why now? Like, why do you all feel like this was the right time to do this for the Sandbox community? And what do we have to look forward to?
All right, thank you for having me here. It's the right time to do it because the Sandbox has been committed from the start towards the path of progressive decentralization. And like Samet has mentioned, everybody can go and create their own game on the Sandbox, right? So this is already empowering the creators. And now we want to take it a step further, which is now everybody can Sand and Land can actually participate in governing decision, in the governance of the Sandbox, and help grow the ecosystem by casting their vote, by making proposals. So it's a natural step for us.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? We've seen a trend towards sort of giving power to the people. That's what Web3 is all about. And we build these things to create a different future, an economy of sorts that sort of lives and breathes on its own, right?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, the first thing that we decentralize is the economy of the Sandbox. When we first launched the Sand token back in 2020, we really wanted to have the ability for people to buy and sell using the Sand token on the marketplace, the content they create, to buy the land, to participate as well in various activity, and sometimes even outside of the Sandbox platform itself. So Sand has grown as a top 10 gaming token, a top 100 cryptocurrencies listed globally. And now, like, through the DAO, they can use their Sand, they can use as well their land, and we'll talk about it because it's quite unique in the way that it was designed, to express their voice, choose, again, like how the roadmap should be made, and like which project and initiative we should support. And why now? Like, it's been part of the white paper of Sandbox since we published it. To progressively decentralize the Sandbox over 5 years. We're roughly at year 4 of the project, and it's time. But we also wanted to make sure that we establish the right direction for this ship to sail, that we have the right product and technology for the creators to build exciting experience, fun content, that we have enough content from the creator with 1,000 experiences live, that we introduce the monetization mechanics for the creator as well to drive the creator economy, and to share the core value that we have as a platform. That's why also we will talk about the council and the advisor, like what they represent, a very inclusive metaverse, a very diverse. We have 30% from Asia, 30% from Europe, 20% from US, kind of like content, landowner, partners, and more. And all of that should be reflected instead of like decentralized too early and maybe not giving really an idea of the potential and driving the direction forward.
That's exciting stuff. So Cyril, you have your work cut out for you. You're going to be quite busy evaluating all these different types of grants and creative ideas. So I guess you're geared up for that. How do people apply for the program? What's the criteria, the options that are available for grants, and then we'll kind of go into some tips for success. But first,
yeah, thanks for asking. It's a great question. So, like I said, because we're committed to a journey of progressive decentralization, we're not letting organic proposals just pop out like that. Where we're helping people curating their proposal, we're helping them along the way. So, to answer your question, the process is very simple. We've got a website, sandboxdao.com. You can go in there, and there's a template where we ask you a series of questions. Anybody can go download the template, and anybody with a great idea can make a proposal. And then you send this template to a mail address, sip@sandboxdao.com, and my team will get back to you and will help you curate that proposal along the way as a way to make sure we get the best possible proposal that is put forward for the community to vote on. Later on, we'll release a little bit this mechanism and we'll enable organically more proposals to see the light of day. But this is like our path to progressive decentralization. We want to make sure we get great proposal at first, show a good example, and then leave the community run itself.
Amazing.
Actually, that's already.
And we are live. Yes, we have 5 SIPs live, right? So you can already go in there and vote.
So is there different levels where I imagine like larger grants require a little bit more of a rigid process than smaller grants? Is there different tiers of grants?
It's all tailor-made for the moment. There's no official tiering per se.
Okay.
It's because it's human conversation with people, right? Because you realize that sometimes people, they have a great idea, but they don't know exactly how to process it, how to explain it, right? So this is why we're helping you along the way. Yes, we have a limited budget, right? But it's still a significant budget. It's a 25 million cent annual budget to support all proposal, right? So it's still a significant amount of money. But we can't give 20 million in one proposal, right? So we have to be reasonable as well.
You want to spread out geographically, creatively?
Actually, it's a very good point. Like maybe just walk back 25 million cents per year as a budget for the DAO is a good amount of money already to get started. One important thing is like we also want to make transparency at the core of this DAO. So right on the sandboxdao.com website, you can see how the budget is being split between all the different verticals. And like every time one SIP get approved and the budget is deployed, you can already see like the remaining budget balance. So any new SIP that comes, they need to be realistically aligned with the remaining budget. And it's going to be also revised by the council that we put in place with like, I'm thinking we should talk about a bit like who is in this council, who are the advisors that ensuring as well that every SIP that will go through is actually really for the greater good of the platform, of the project, of the sound and the sandbox ecosystem, and not for the self-interest for a few like people who could control the votes. And we work hard as well on those aspects of design. We'll tell you more.
There's a lot of lessons learned from DAOs the last
absolutely
2 years, right?
It's very challenging,
right? Some landmines to avoid.
It's hard to get things right when you want to decentralize, but we have enough like learning and takeaways from other DAOs that we inspired from, ApeCoin DAO, etc. So we the two things we've done, and what's unique about the Sandbox DAO first is the fact that how a vote is actually being counted. So you can use not just the token sand to vote, but you can also vote with lands. Because in Sandbox, as you can see on this map, the map and all the lands is essential. We have 27,000 landowners and 164 land in total. And landowners are active builders contributing to creating the open metaverse. So for each land, it will count as 4,000 votes, whereas for one sand, it's 1 vote. That means that we have a more balanced approach toward like the distribution of votes. 27,000 landowners, they own 1 land or 2 lands on average. 250,000 sand holders who own 10,000 sand on average on their wallet outside of the centralized exchange. We did a lot of simulation. There should be no single party or group of people who can influence the vote just by themselves. So ensuring true democracy at the core and ensuring that Sandbox on the long term can subsist, can live forever, even without the team to be involved.
Any closing thoughts, Cyril, before we adjourn?
Go visit our website, propose your ideas, download our template, and don't forget to vote.
Yes. And a quick note as well, like a DAO would not be something if it didn't have a proper council behind. So we're really proud to have announced 5 council members that will ensure as well like the review of the proposal and a fair like process and alignment. We have Yatsu, the CEO and chairman of Animoca brand. I think he needs no introduction. We have Shannon Snow, the CEO and co-founder of A World of Women, with the largest community. We have Frédéric Montagnon, a serial entrepreneur with a strong background in Web3, veteran. We have Jean-Michel Payon, who is ex-executive as Ledger, and also now the founder of Grail Capital, very versed in art, and myself as well. So we all responsible for like reviewing the proposal, and we are currently elected as well, so people can vote on the first free SIP, on the constitution and the composition of this council, and we'll be here to ensure the transparency and the delivery afterward of the SIP. And we have 7 amazing advisors who also are very versed into what is Sandbox, what they have built project. Ina Moja, who is like a United Nations ambassador, support the Code Green project. We have Zaf Shaw, we have Loretta Chen, who is building a studio in Sandbox, Mateus Vivian, and Anthony Chow as well. So they cover different ground, different thematics. They all built something in Sandbox before. It's not about just influencing or influencer. It's about like real builders as well.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited. I'm going to check it out. And, as someone that sort of builds ecosystems in the community and tries to think about thoughtful ways to actually produce real KPIs, I'm going to be thinking about maybe what we can do at Edge to support the Sandbox ecosystem. So
absolutely. Thank you for that.
And thanks for your time and excited about what's to come.
Definitely. Looking forward to more decentralization.
The views and opinions expressed on Edge of NFT reflect solely those views and opinions of the show hosts and its guests. Please make sure to do your own research. Our show is not financial advice. You understand that you are using any and all information available on or through this podcast at your own risk. Whenever making financial decisions, we recommend doing your own research and talking to your accountant for financial advice. From time to time, we may feature sponsored content on the show for which we receive value, and we may share links for which we receive a commission if you make a purchase through one of those links. Refer to our website, www.edgeofnft.com, for our full disclaimer, terms and conditions, and privacy policy.